So, what a 2 weeks it has been. Wow. So, 2 weeks ago today, I won the Porsche GT3. So, to break it down for you, what's gone on for the last 2 weeks. Now, look, you might not care, you might want to swipe past, but for me, I have to do this to get it all out of my mind. So, I won the car at 8 o'clock at night. By 9 o'clock, me and Bianca were winging our way to Doncaster to go and get it. We got there about 1 o'clock in the morning, met John Simister, collected the car, drove back. So, we got back early hours Thursday morning. The kids need to get up and go to school then. So it was very much of a blur. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday comes. I'm coming out of my front door and there's a Porsche GT3 on my drive, which is just madness. And then last week I had the Auto Trader Retailer Awards. Just put the sign there, just in case you didn't catch it when I was on about that. So I'm at the Retailer Awards, which again is a massive, massive thing for the business and me to be there. So I'm going to explain to you how mentally I look at these things. And look, you might want to unfollow me after this because you might think, God, he's not all there. But, so winning the car was huge. Then going to this was huge. So I like routine, okay? I like going to the gym every morning because it starts my day the same. I like eating the same foods. I wear very similar clothes. There's probably traits in there you might recognize, but I mean, I very much don't like changing my life, okay? Now, obviously, I won a life changing amount of money when I won the car, which has been sold now. So it's an amazing change. But to me, before this happened, I knew exactly where I was going. I was leasing the unit. I had plans for going in there. But the reason I backed out of the unit in the end, and this chat will go all over the place, is they wanted like 13 grand up front as a bond. It needed a fence line putting in, which was a couple of £1,000. They wanted £1,000 plus VAT just to change the lease to let me put a fence in. It needed an office built in there because they wouldn't allow me to take my shipping container there. So you're talking probably 25, 30 grand just to go in there. And I thought, with having this money now from the sale of the Porsche, I don't want to waste the money on someone else's building. I want to put it into my own business and my own future. So that's why I pulled out of the building, which again, though, massively was like, oh God, this one part of the plan. Then we went up to London, and I think off the back of the car being sold just as we were going to London, I'm in London, I'm a little bit sort of on edge, and I don't look at things for just the pretty picture, yeah? So I'm in London, I'm like, how do the wheels on that bus work? How do the brakes work? How's that light work? How did they build the subway? Where's all these people going? Why are you on the tube? And then you go on the tube and you're thinking, well, I'm 20 levels underground here. Who built this? How long has this been? And my mind is just like completely and utterly like, and it was all overwhelming for me, I think. And then obviously, like I said, I got back to the car, and Bianca's back window being smashed, and the laptop stolen. Straight away, I'm thinking, oh, that's my business. That's my filing cabinet for my mind, my business, my financial history. Everything's on there. So luckily enough, I've got a fantastic IT guy who had bitlocked it. So the laptop to whoever stole it is useless. You may as well chuck it in a bin. Don't park in Q Park Mayfair either. What a waste of time. Their reviews are awful. So look, what I'm trying to say is these last 2 weeks have been mad, and I don't like changing my life because I know I had a route that I wanted to go and it got changed for the better. But for me to adjust, I think will take weeks, if not months. And there's an element of the way I run this business. Yeah, I run a small business and I run it from sort of day to day, week to week financially. Okay, there's no point me lying and saying, we've been having it off, because we haven't. It's tough running a business. Yeah, obviously now the elephant in the room is I sold the Porsche for a chunk of money, which I've moved away. But when you run a business on a sort of knife edge, it keeps you sharp. It keeps you on it. And I use the terminology or the phrase in my mind of, when you look over the edge of a steep building, you feel like you might want to jump. I feel like this money could potentially make me lazy. Not lazy as, I'm just going to sit round, but take my eye off the ball. So what I've done, and maybe I shouldn't tell everyone my financial sort of real personal details. I've moved the money away. When I buy a car, I've bought a few cars now. I use the money to buy the car only, yeah, and that's it. I'm not going to allow the money to turn into designer clothes and all that sort of stuff. That's never been me, and it won't be me. The money is purely now going to help the business grow. But again, here we go. This is a mad one. But, like, I've documented this. This is a big story, and I've had lots of people message me saying, "Love following your journey and your story." And the pressure now that I feel, not just from people who watch these videos, because I love people being involved in what I do, and I feel very, very grateful that people are involved. But for myself now, I've had a lot of messaging, this is what you needed. You know, you'll be able to buy your own Porsche in a couple of years. And I'm like, oh, God, I don't want to mess this up, especially on centre stage where I broadcast it. Now, I don't have to tell people if it went good or bad, but I think it would be quite clear to see that if it goes good or bad. So the pressure at the moment for me not to mess this up is like mad. I'm like, wow, I've been given a life-changing sort of sum of money here to help with this business. But in this business terms, it's loads of money. But I could go and buy 10 grand cars, and you could, within a blink of a second, go, nah, nothing there for me, mate. And you're like, well, hang on, no, there's 100 grand's worth of cars here, come back. So you've got to use it wisely and make sure I make the right choices with it. And it's just crazy that we're even in this position. So like I said to you, believe it or not, I am filming this video from my shipping container, but we are in a completely different location inside Blue Self Storage. What I decided to do was take on a lease for a bigger space. They're straight off a bit of tarmac. The yard itself is still gravel, and I'll do a separate video on showing you the move. So I've got a bigger yard now, and I want to get a load of cars in here, and I want this business to sort of develop and flourish now that it's got a bit of oomph behind it, you know, a bit of cash flow hopefully to get some vehicles in. On Other News, I have bought another vehicle for a competition, which I am going to collect tomorrow on a train, so that should be live within a couple of days, I'm hoping. Hopefully you all like it. I always get very nervous when I do this because it's a big risk, like I say, but yeah, I'm sure this video has just gone like that, and you're thinking, God, he's lost the plot. But it's just so much gone on these last couple of weeks. I just got to now get busy. You know, not ignore it, but understand what's happened is amazing. But let's get back on it now. I've sort of had 2 weeks of like a rabbit in the headlights, and it's time to move forward. So new competition coming. I've bought a couple of cars which have been advertised. And on this note, if you're looking to sell your car, look, I'm openly looking to buy vehicles, okay? Ideally for me, under 10 years old, under 100,000 miles, okay? And I can only pay trade money, okay? So a lot of people offer me their cars, and when I actually put the reg and the miles in, people are asking over what I would even retail them for, which is, I obviously can't do anything with that. If you're looking to get out of your car, you've offered it to We Buy Any Car, or you've had a part exchange quote, but you'd rather it go somewhere else, then please let me know. I'd love to get involved if possible. So I'm sorry this video's gone all over the shop, but I needed to do it, and I hope that it's made some sort of sense. Thank you for watching.